Hi students, welcome back to the topic which we were discussing till yesterday. And the name of the topic was print media and the modern culture. Of course, this topic is from history of the NCERT book. Now let's see guys what happened. So yesterday we did see the part that print actually came to India. It actually first made its approach back from the part of Portuguese, that is right in the part of Goa. Okay. Now let's see that what actually after the print came to India, what all changes actually happened, what all the kind of debates and things actually started following after it came in India. Let's see. Now, East India Company, as you know that we were actually being governed by this company known as East India Company, or in simple word Britishers. East India Company began to import these mechanical presses from the late 17th century. So because they saw that there is going to be a demand in India as well, and that's the reason why they thought of importing all those machines right from the part of Europe to over here. Now let's see. In 1780, there was this guy known as James Augusta Hickey who started this Bengal Gazette. Okay, it was a very famous editorial, Bengal Gazette. It was being named as that commercial paper open to all but influenced by none. Now when he clearly said that it's a commercial paper, so he started publishing a lot of advertisings, including those which would relate to the sale of slaves from India to all the colonies. Everything was going fine until actually this Hickey Hickey actually started even publishing the gossips of all the Britishers, or the high-ranking governors. This did not go well with the government authorities who were then, being controlled by the British. So those guys, and one of the Governor General was Warren Hastings, and he actually punished or persecuted Hickey, and he said that if you want to publish this newspaper, you need to publish it on our own terms. And then the Bengal Gazette started, becoming a mouthpiece for the part of Britishers to oppose all those, rumors which were going against Britishers. तो उनके against में पेपर ने काम करना चालू कर दिया. Bengal Gazette was later on being, started by Gangadhar Bhattacharya. Very, very important point, guys. And this was the first editorial which was being successfully published in India. So Bengal Gazette was published by Gangadhar Bhattacharya, who was very close to the famous Ram Mohan Roy. Now let's see. Religious reforms and public debates. As we have studied yesterday, the same thing happened which happened in Europe, as well as the same thing happened in India. What? And that is the environment of debates and discussions. Now people actually stopped believing onto the part whatever the government said, and they started asking questions as in whether this particular practice which has been doing rounds since several of years, is this even right? Now as I told you yesterday, once you start asking questions, you are bound to get some replies, and then you can apply your own logic whether that answer is right or wrong. Debates carried out in public and print. So debates were openly now being carried out, which was previously not the case. And now even in the print, people started asking questions. After, by the way, once the people started communicating, there was this event of new ideas. So new ideas kept on emerging. Okay. Then came the intense controversies between social and religious reformers. Now, as I told you, now when you start asking questions and if it betrays or if it opposes the governing bodies, they of course will not be comfortable by such a scenario. In that case, there were intense controversies and debates and sparks and all of those kind of things happened. Why? Because the social reformers like the Ram Mohan Roy and all of these actually wanted to change the laws or change, the kind of being wrongdoings which were happening since so many years. But the religious reformers started opposing कि नहीं ऐसे तो हमारे starting से ही चलता है, ये तो हिंदू culture के against में होगा, ये Muslim culture के against में होगा, and so on and so forth. Topics which were very, very crucial for India were widow immolation. Widow immolation means जहाँ पर widows अपने आप को आग लगा लेती थी, kind of सती, not actually sati but kind of sati. Widow immolation, the Brahmanical priesthood. Now, it's not Brahmanical, it's actually Brahmanical priesthood. What do you mean by Brahmanical priesthood? कि जो भी ब्राह्मण के ही कम्युनिटी के अंदर जो लोग पैदा होंगे वही केवल मंदिर के अंदर कुछ भी राइट्स परफॉर्म कर सकते हैं, कुछ भी बाय द वे सोशल गैदरिंग्स परफॉर्म कर सकते हैं, एंड दे वर सेट काइंड ऑफ रूल्स. So these of course were now being opposed by those social reformers because they said that all humans are equal, so let's discuss all of them equally. Then all of these particular papers, to make their wide impact and to make sure that it reaches to the widespread public, it started publishing various papers in vernacular languages. Vernacular languages means the local languages like Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, all of those particular languages. Raja Ram Mohan Roy published, very important guys, Raja Ram Mohan Roy published this magazine known as Sambad Kaumudi. Sambad Kaumudi, and this was being published in 1821. Now, Ram Mohan Roy, he was a very famous social reformer who was against, this widow immolation, and he was for the part of widow remarriage and each and everything. Now the issue happened. Then since this idea actually went against the Hindu orthodox, thinking. So what actually happened was that then the Hindu orthodoxy actually started launching their own paper. तो हिंदूज ने भी अपना एक पेपर लॉन्च किया जो कि राम मोहन रॉय के पेपर को अपोज कर सके, एंड इट्स मैगजीन वाज नेम्ड एज समाचार चंद्रिका, एंड दिस वाज अ हिंदू ऑर्थोडॉक्सी अपोजिशन. ओके, ऑर्थोडॉक्स मींस जो लोग पुराने ख्याल के थे, जिनको लग रहा था कि ये सही नहीं हो रहा है, यू आर डूइंग रॉन्ग थिंग्स बाय चेंजिंग द इंडियन आर्ट एंड कल्चर एंड रिलीजियस बिलीव्स, एंड दे स्टार्टेड अपोजिंग राम मोहन रॉय दैट व्हाई आर यू डूइंग सो. And remember, during this particular piece of time, Britishers were either way, playing that very cunning monkey. Why? Because they actually were eating up both the sides of the pie. Because they are now trying to divide a community within a community. They knew that India is a very diverse country and it is being based on the different, belief system, different faiths, different culture, different religion, different language speaking people, and that's the reason why they were smiling and simply sitting over there. Now in 1822 two Persian papers are also published. In 1822 two Persian papers published named as Jane Jahan Nama and Shamsul Akbar or Shamsul Akbar. There was another Gujarati paper also which was named as the Bombay Samachar. Okay, now see, as I told you, जब एक कम्युनिटी दूसरे से करने लगती है, and of course उसके अंदर इंडिया में तो इतनी सारी कम्युनिटीज और इतने सारे रिलीजन्स और इतने सारे बिलीफ हैं, so even the Muslim community started feeling a bit scared. Why? Because they thought that their dynasties are going to get collapsed if their views are also not being published, because this is a fight which is going in between the Hindu community, and might be कि बाद में कहीं ऐसा ना हो that Britishers or these East India Company guys would start transforming them or converting them forcefully. So they started, through ulama. What is ulama? Ulama were the legal scholars of Islam, or who had the power to actually change those particular laws or follow those particular learnings. So legal scholars of Islam and Sharia. Now what is Sharia? That is the Islamic law, that according to Islam this is permitted, this is not permitted, so those particular kind of things. Now, as I told you that there was this fear of conversion and change of laws, so Muslims or the Muslim community also now decided to publish their own papers which would actually put across their points. What were those? There was this society which was being set up in the year 1867 named as Deoband Seminary. Deoband Seminary. Okay. Now Deoband Seminary was being set up in 1867, and they started thousands and thousands of what? Fatwas. Now what do you mean by the word fatwas? So remember these two terms, the word ulama, which are known as the legal scholars of Islam, and the Sharia. Sharia means the Islamic law. What were the fatwas? Fatwas are the so-called a kind of proclamation made. What do you mean by proclamation? That I have given this order, so you have to follow this. So fatwas were being raised again, n number of individuals and for general public as well to follow a certain kind of code and conduct. So what do you mean by fatwa? Fatwa is a proclamation made by the, those ulamas, and who used to, by the way, give those orders as in how public should start behaving. Urdu, of course, guys, Urdu was a language, and it's, still, a language, which is being famous across all the spheres. So Urdu actually helped a lot of this because Urdu was a common language. So Urdu actually helped a lot of this to make sure that these ideas actually went on to the public. Because see, जब तक कोई चीज़ पब्लिक तक नहीं पहुंचती है वो एक मूवमेंट नहीं बनता. जब तक कोई एक मूवमेंट नहीं बनता, डेमोक्रेसी के अंदर चीज़ें काम नहीं करती. In 1810, when the Hindus saw that there is this particular Muslim community also coming into play, so they started, by the way, their own, the Hindu vernacular books. Now, or the religious texts, sorry, not the vernacular books, means religious texts which were being published in vernacular languages. While Muslim communities started, printing their own religious texts, so Hindus said that we are also not going to be, left behind. So they also started printing the Hindu religious texts. The first one was known as Ramcharitmanas, and it was being published by Tulsidas and in Calcutta. Okay. So this was, of course, Tulsidas ji was the, whole own and so on who has written Ramayana also, one of the version of Ramayana. Now, in 1880, there were another, press which was being opened, and that press was known as Naval Kishore Press in Lucknow and Sri Venkateshwara Press in Mumbai. These two presses started printing a lot of Hindu books, and that too in different languages, so that it could also reach the mass population of Hindus all across India. So the two major presses were the Naval Kishore Press in Lucknow and the Sri Venkateshwara Press in Mumbai. So all of these presses started publishing these books in different languages to ensure that their ideas also should not remain behind. Now, what is today's learning out of all this? As you can see, while in Europe this entire thing actually led to a social debate and uprising of the French Revolution, in India it actually created, kind of divide furthermore, because now religions were being separated, controversies started happening, people started, believing onto a particular kind of text. So it created more of a public divide. Now I'm not saying, this is only my view, I'm not saying that this was the only case. Of course, people got educated, people, were now supposed to put their ideas in public. But because India is such a diverse country that no one paper or no one community or no one person can actually spread its, ideas or views all across, because there are so many diverse groups. So this is what actually happened during this particular era. So I think now there are 2 sub-chapters which are going to be left out. So I'm going to take a test till over here. See you guys. Enjoy from my side. Meet you at the test. Bye.